coming into it. Coming in hot, boys. Coming in so hot, boys. 1 second. My name is Pulsar, and we are here today again with our best bud Mekais. What's going on? How are we doing today?
Still haven't got my damn cheeseburgers. Besides, they're pretty good.
My god, the cheeseburgers again. Brody.
No, I'm doing pretty okay today.
Okay. Glad to hear it. So we got, as you can see, we got 3 really interesting interviews lined all up. So we're starting off with Clappy from Astro. Then we're going on to Lamb from Cataclysm. And then we're going to end that off with Carios. So for the plan is after we interview them, we're going to do Q&A with the questions left on the YouTube channel. And then from there, we're just, we're going to go ham. And if you guys are going to ask any questions in chat, you're more than welcome to. But let's start getting into it, my friends. We are going to have Clappy joining us in just a moment. Alrighty, Clappy, what's going on? How are we doing today?
Hello. It is good. Went to church earlier.
So, as Astro's 6th man, you have to tell me, what week are we seeing you play your first game?
Yeah, I really don't know. They'll just slot me in when they need me, and I'm the GOAT. I'll drop 40 when I get in there. So whenever we're down bad, I'll be put in, and then we win.
Alrighty.
So you're kind of like the fourth quarter demon. You only come in when it counts.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, then I guess I will be getting us started off with things. So we'll just hop right into it here. The first question that we're going to have you do is, how is your team prepared for this upcoming season? Done anything special? Really looked around and tried to do any anti-strats, or you kind of just scrimming, seeing how it goes?
I mean, from my perspective, it's definitely been like a grind for the boys. Like they're scrimming a bunch. They're definitely VOD reviewing a lot. They're looking at other teams around, just trying to see anti-strat against them, preparing for the upcoming matches. And it's just like, I feel like our boys are definitely putting in a lot of work. And I mean, I don't know what kind of work other teams are putting in, but I'd have to say we're top 3 in like the most work that we put in, because it's like every single day we're just putting in work, whether it be VOD review or just like one-on-one, like teaching someone, like basic strats and like double team strats and stuff like that. Like we're just constantly putting in work right now. And I think we're just getting as prepared as we can for it. Cause obviously, as you guys said in the first stream, we have pretty low expectations coming into this from everybody. But I think that really motivates us. And that's what I've noticed from our boys is we're getting motivated by the fact that you guys don't think we're going to do good. And we know we're going to do good because we got that dog in us. You know what I mean? We got that dog in us. So we know we're going to do good. So, I mean, I think just the whole we're preparing mentally as well. Like we're getting our mentality right now and preparing for the fact that even if we do lose, and we might, I mean, I'm not going to 100% come out and say we're going 8-0 because I don't know that for a fact, but we're preparing for the fact that if we lose, we can easily bounce back and just win the next game. So
that's honestly valid. I will say, even though I ranked you guys low, I do have a lot of love for the team. I used to be on a team with your coach IGL grades. Like I've known Vav for a long time. He was almost a part of that roster. I've known Aspen for a few months now, and I really do like your guys' org and vibe. But for me, it's just you guys struggled against Poseidon, and Poseidon isn't really that good of a team going into this. They're still projected bottom half as well. Much love to them too. I love Poseidon. I love my boy Dior and all them, but you guys both have a very uphill battle going into this.
Well, what I'd like to say about that Poseidon thing is you got to remember then the team was like, I think for 2 days, 3 days then. And it's like, obviously, yeah, we lost that, but we've improved so much since then. Like I watch back on those VODs and I kind of laugh at some of the strats that we use there. Like we're a completely different team than what you saw there. And I'm ready for you to see what we've been cooking up. Like it's actually amazing.
Before I pass it back to Mech, I have to ask, what is your team's biggest adversary? Is there a specific person, or is there a specific team you're gunning for, a specific team you either want to meet in playoffs, or are you circled on your schedule and that red marker, like that's the team we're going to fucking make a statement against?
I'd love to say we have someone like that, but I feel like we're kind of just looking at that schedule and we're just looking at these as other teams that we have to play. You know what I mean? We're not gutting out for anyone specifically. We're just When we get into the game, we're just going against 5 players. It doesn't matter who it is. We're just going to kill them, and we're just going to shoot them in the head, plant the bomb, defuse the bomb, whatever we got to do. We're going to win the game.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bro, was that? Oh,
Yeah.
so I guess then yeah, pass back over to me. My fault there. For me, my second question is actually it's super funny. It's kind of the same thing like you just asked. Is what's been the biggest challenge with your team when it comes to kind of just being a new team and kind of learning the ropes? And what have you guys done to like kind of fix it and work on it?
Honestly, probably since the whole newness of everything, I think it's like chemistry the most is like just the chemistry between the boys, just having fun in the matches, and I feel like that's been pretty easily fixable. We just can run up a 5Q comp. We can just go play a death match together, sweat out
I
in
will
team death
say that
match.
we had a 5 stack going last night. It
I
was
know, I saw.
me, Vav, Graves, Vav's friend, and Giraffe. And we went I think 3-1, and we even beat a cheater too, who was like very clearly walling. So
Hmm.
it was very good vibes. The energy was fantastic even when things weren't looking great. And I had a blast because I was insta locking duelist and bottom fragging. So
Hmm.
that's always an experience to have.
Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, the whole chemistry thing when you're kind of like a new young team like we are, I feel like that's the thing because you get 5 people, like only 2 of them I think talked before this, maybe 3 have talked before this. So I mean, well, we've known each other for about a month and a half, and I feel like just the chemistry already is amazing. Like I can hop in a call with Jaden or Despair or whatever his name is, and we can just vibe, and I can do that with everyone there. I mean, it's just been such an amazing like going from when I first joined and first was in a VC, it was pretty quiet, but now I'm seeing everybody's personality starting to get revealed and people are starting to talk more. And I feel like that's definitely going to apply to the matches as well because, when you have IGLs, and I mean, like, I feel like I'm calling out IGL specifically here because this is a huge thing for IGLs. When they're in a good mood, they're happy, they're popping off, they're not tilted at all. It's just they call better, they'll play better. All of this will be better, but then, if they're tilted or whatever, they'll start making the bad calls or they will start overthinking that stuff. So I feel like just getting the vibes up now and making it where they're not going to tilt is just going to be like a very good plus for that.
For sure, for sure. So I have to ask then, who's your team MVP? Is it going to be your IGL? Is it your flex player? Is there a particular person that you think is going to pop off and carry super hard?
I think we all know the answer here. You got Vavuxi over here. I mean, that guy is insane. I mean, he's probably one of the best mechanical players I know. Like, I feel like if that guy actually grinded rank, he'd hit Radiant easily. I mean, if I had to pick, it's probably a future question, but if I had to pick like an MVP for this entire thing, the entire league, 100% Vav for me. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched the guy play, but that guy is insane. Like, he's hitting shots that I don't think are humanly possible, and he's doing it easily, just like second hand. Like I don't. He's just so good at the game, and I don't. I'm not trying to glaze this guy, but it's like he's
I mean,
so good at
I
the
mean,
video game.
Vav is a fantastic player. That was one of the things that made it really hard to pick between him and somebody else. Vav was very raw when I was trying him out, but like his mechanics were on point. Like he
Hmm.
hit every shot you needed him to hit. Like he just had that ice in his veins. And I've seen the improvement between now and then. He used to just kind of be like a TikTok Sova. After queuing with him the other day, like he's improved quite a lot, and I can't wait to see how he performs.
I don't
So
mean
that
to.
knocked out another question for me, but we'll let Mech get on to two here, not to drag on too long.
So, real quick, actually, I know you don't know this AST Clappy. I actually used to play on Astro, and I
Mm-hmm.
had the privilege to play with Vav. So trust me, we know all about how good he is. He really is just one of the best players, definitely in the league. I can say with the confidence. But getting into my next question, it definitely has to be, is what are your thoughts on the league's format when it comes to playing in the league? How do you feel with the play-in tournament? Just like, what are your thoughts on how the league is formatted and how it's all set up?
Oh, I mean, I definitely love the idea that even a team that's 0-8 can play in the play-in and make the playoffs. Because I mean that allows us to play with the flexibility, knowing that even if we do horrible during this regular season, if we lock in, pop off during the play-in and then the playoffs, I mean, we'll be like we don't have to do good right now. It 100% helps, obviously. Like, but if we went 0-8, we're still gonna win the play-in and then we're gonna win the playoffs. I know for a fact. So
I
I,
think I think the reason that's one of the reasons why I was so keen on adding the play-in. So it's not always about who the best team is at the beginning of the season is the team that wins. It's a lot of the times it's the team that gets hot at the right time. So you have a team that starts off because they just built their roster right before the league starts, so they start off like 1-6, and then they win that seventh game and they beat like one of the best teams in the league. Well, it's like, oh, well, your record sucks, so too bad, no playoffs for you. But with this, there's a chance to make it in. I will say though, if you go 0-8, your seeding in the play-in tournament and the playoffs is going to be very rough for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
would recommend to definitely, try your best to win as many games as possible.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say we're gonna go 0-8 on purpose or whatever. Like we're gonna win. We're going 8-0 if it's up to me. But
if you play in the play-ins, the lowest seed plays highest seed. It's going to go based on map round or game record, and then it's going to go based on map differential. So
mm-hmm.
or round differential. So every round you win and lose really matters.
Yep.
After that, if you make it all the way through the play-in tournament, which is a bunch of best of ones and then one best of three, then you got to go to playoffs. Bunch of best of threes and one best of five. I don't know if you've taken a peek at the schedule for playoffs, but the 8 seed, which is the play-in spot, plays the 1 seed, and then they're going to play the next highest seed up after that. So it's a tough road.
Yeah, but I have faith that if we do have to go in through that play-in, we'll still we'll win. I mean, I promise you, I have full confidence in this team, and I know you guys have only seen that one match where we were new and young. But once you see this team in week 1, even if we lose, we're gonna put up a bunch of rounds, and we're gonna, even if we lose bad, we're gonna look like a way better team than what you saw before. So I mean, I can guarantee you that.
Alrighty, Vav, you want to go again since he already answered my league MVP pick?
Vav? I didn't know we were talking about.
Hi, Vav. I mean, Mac. I am so sorry. It's because
So it's okay. So my next question is, what do you think of the general meta when it comes to Valorant? Like you have your certain maps where you have to play these 2 characters, or you have this kind of playstyle that has to be run. What are your thoughts on that? And does your plan, like, without leaking anything, of course, kind of stick in that more meta, or do you guys play more just go with the flow and whatever works for you works for you?
I mean, yeah, like you said, I don't want to leak too much, but I mean, I feel like I still think defining one map and saying you have to have this agent is pretty dumb. And obviously, I mean, I feel like some teams can kind of do that. Like I mean, they'll just run the basic comp and then they'll just win off of pure mechanics. But like we're not going to be confined to that. I'm not saying that we're 100% are or we 100% aren't, because I mean, I don't really know what the final comps are going to be just yet, because they're scared I'm going to leak it, because I'm a leaking kind of person. But like it's definitely in our realm of possibility that we might run something weird. I can't 100% confirm or deny it, but it's definitely not going to hold us of it, like, because we have a bunch of flexible players, and I'm pretty sure you guys know that. Like we have people that can play all 4 roles easily and like excel at it. So anything that is in the realm of possibility to play on a map, don't count it out against us.
For sure.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome.
So I got your team and league MVPs. I need to know who's going to be the league LVP, the least valuable player, the player who makes himself look like a baboon.
Assuming I get the play time, I'm going to have to go me. But other than that,
I thought you were
I respect it. I respect it.
Let me think. Who's getting interviewed third again?
Kairos? Yes.
I'm seeing an obvious pick here, but I'm gonna go me. If you get what I'm hinting at. Like, I mean, I feel like there's a close second here, but I just can't get my tongue to it.
Wow. Okay.
Well, if you couldn't choose you, who would it be?
Yeah,
I'm gonna lead you into this question. I'm gonna lead you into this.
He's leading you with the carrot on the stick my sources he wants.
My sources at PSEN are telling me I can't answer this, so sorry for the no answer.
No worries, we'll respect that.
All right, well then, I guess
yes.
I can pick it back up. So for me, I'm curious. I know that you are the 6th man, but when it comes to you as a player and just a person, what do you look forward to most? Why do you play in Valorant competitive? Why do you want to go pro in this game?
Oh, okay. So that's a very good question. Thank you. But okay, I personally, for me, I think it's like the just the team nature of it, just having 5 people that are dedicated to winning a game. And I feel like that's true for like most sports. I feel like I play baseball personally, and it's just when I'm in that dugout, it feels like a family, and that's how I feel in Valorant most of the time, and just striving to get better at it. And a video game, you can 1000% get better and better and better. Like it's honestly hard to hit a ceiling in a video game because you can always improve something else. So I just feel like that ability to have 5 people so dedicated to one goal really is my driving motivation. And I feel like just a good team like that just is incredible, just good environment.
Okay, awesome.
I like that answer quite a lot, actually. So sort of leading into that, then, what do you look forward to most this season? Playing with your team or the league, or what's really like driving you right now to enjoyment? Because I'll give you guys a quick example before I let you answer this question. I used to play Overwatch professionally, and I will never stop plugging that and flexing that.
I wouldn't either.
But at some point, the game meta and just the toxicity of being on the top level kills you. It absolutely kills you. It killed the enjoyment for me. Like, I was playing 12, 13 hours a day, and I just did not want to touch my computer, like, at all. When I retired, I stopped. I did not go back to my computer for almost a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So what is really like? What are you looking forward to? What is that positive motivation that's going to keep you from getting burnt out?
Okay, that's also another very good question. You guys are good at this, whole interviewing thing. But okay, um, honestly, the thing that I'm most like just looking forward to is just like improving with these guys. This is a tier 3 league, and we're gonna strive to be the best team we can be. But no matter what happens in this league, we're all gonna become better players. We're all gonna become better people that are more, motivated to just keep on striving. Because all 5 players on that starting rotation all have the chance to, be really, really good. There's like maybe one thing holding them back, and some are already there, but they haven't got the opportunity to, or they haven't played enough. So,
Yep.
I feel like just what I look forward to the most is the whole just getting better with these guys type of thing. And obviously, I look forward to the winning, but you're not guaranteed to win. I know we're gonna win, but we're not guaranteed 100% to win. So, I I look forward to winning, and I look forward to just any match in general because these guys are going to perform way better on game day than they will in any scrim because we say it as a joke, but they do have that like clutch gene, that dog in them. Like,
They got
I
that
promise
dog in them.
they do. You can quote this, put it on Twitter with one of them stupid NBA things. They got that dog in them, and 100%. I know that if we play a team in a scrim and then we play them in playoffs or something, I promise you we will look like a completely different team than what they played in that scrim, in like the best way possible. Like, we'll just hit more shots. This team just
Respect.
we got ice in our veins.
Alrighty.
So then I guess do you have anything else for Impulsor?
Yes, I got one more question. What is something the league doesn't know about you that you think that the rest of the league should know?
Well, first of all, I'm 6 man of the year, obviously. So, they got to know that. They got to expect it. But about me specifically, just like I was saying about the team, this applies 100,000% to me. I perform so much better in clutch situations. Like you made a joke, like it's me coming in the fourth quarter, dropping 30 in that quarter. Like, I perform so much better in the clutch and like in the matches compared to scrims or comp games because it's just been instilled in me that like I need to perform then more than ever, and I have a reason to play. Like, when I play comp, I don't always play to the best of my abilities because I don't really have a reason to play other than just gain this little number on my screen that goes up and it might make me red eventually. But like, I just feel like, I have a reason to play then, and I'll just, start. I just go overdrive mode when I get in that situation. So if I ever do get playing time and you see me in a 1v5 situation, I'd expect me to win. I wouldn't bet against me.
There
That's
you go.
awesome. And that kind of confidence is definitely what you're looking for. I love that. So then I guess to round us out is, do you have any questions for us? Anything you want to know about the league, and any lingering thoughts that you want to just talk about while you're still here? Anything at all?
I got a question for you, Pulsar. You still
Yes.
shaving your head if we win our first match?
Yeah, you guys are playing against the new Rise esports roster, right? Yeah.
Yep. You still
Oh,
shaving your
Honestly,
head?
I
I don't know.
I will bet my hair. I will not go bald, but I will do a military buzz cut down to basically nothing.
Okay, well,
And
we will
that's a
keep that in
promise.
mind.
Now I want you guys to win because I need to see that.
Yeah. And if they throw on purpose, it doesn't count, by the way, just so we're aware,
Correct.
everyone.
Yes, correct. Alrighty. Well, it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you again, Clappy.
Yep. Thank you for inviting me.
Clap for Clappy.
Yep. Okay, it's been fun, guys. Clappy for
Thank
6
you
man of the
again.
year.
Clappy for 6 man of the year. You heard it here first. Alrighty, Max. So what are your thoughts on that interview we just had?
I'm gonna be honest. That guy's my favorite player already. I love him. He's great. Awesome guy. Awesome. I'll have really nice interview. I'm gonna be honest. Had a lot of nice things to say. Got a lot of good things to say. Gave us some good insight. And maybe look forward to watching Astro play a little bit from how he was talking about them in scrims and stuff.
For sure. And I really can't wait to see what comes of everything.
So
Alrighty.
I completely agree.
We're
How about
up
you?
for
Any
we're
have any
up for
thoughts?
I think that, like I said, I love this team. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to pull it off. I love the confidence, but and I love the energy. I just don't know if it's going to be quite there, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I hope they go. I don't care what the record is, but I hope they win week 1 because I got to see that buzz cut.
Wow, bro. That's kind of crazy.
Hey, Astro fans, week 1, let's go, baby. Astro up. No, I don't really know though. I definitely think that they have. I think he hasn't been lying. I think the work they've been putting in, we're definitely going to see in the regular season, and whether
Yep.
that translates to a lot of wins or not is still to be decided. But he definitely makes me hyped to watch him. So that's kind of where I'm
Alrighty.
at right now.
Alrighty, now we're on to Lamb. Are you ready to talk to Lamb? Goated
Let's get him.
Cataclysm Gaming owner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty, how are we doing today, Lamb?
How's it going, guys?
It's going
Pretty good.
fantastic. We're glad to have you. So,
I'm
I guess, do you want to start us off here then, Mech?
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep this going, keep it rocking and rolling. So, how's your? So you're the owner of Cataclysm, correct? I just want to make sure we get everything clear there.
Yeah, so Jeff and I co-own Cataclysm Gaming. So it's a partnership. There's two of us, and so we kind of just rock it individually, and we kind of do our own little departments of it, supposedly. Jeff kind of coaches the team and kind of runs that side of things. I normally do all of the tournament administration and all of our outreach and things like that.
Got you. Okay. Well, how has your team been preparing for this upcoming season? Have you been doing anything special? Any small time tournaments, or there's been scrimming?
This is just another tournament for us. We've been in so many in the I don't know, the last couple months that this is just another opportunity for us to play some games, win some money, just keep it moving. We're scrimming all the time, practicing all the time. We actually have VLS finals coming up tomorrow against Tedward Gaming, so we're looking forward to that. And we're just gonna build and prepare.
Wow, awesome. So
Fantastic,
a little
fantastic.
sneak peek match of maybe a potential playoff match in a few weeks from now.
Yeah, Tedward Gaming's no joke, but I'm not worried about it in the slightest.
Got you.
Alrighty. And then I guess my first question to you is Tedward your biggest adversary, or do you have someone else in mind for the league?
Um, you know, I'm not really worried about anyone else. As far as the Titans of Tier 3 goes, I think we're in a pretty confident spot right now, and I'm not too concerned. I know only a handful of the teams that are in it, and for me, that means that we should be in a good groove.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Got you. Well, then I guess I can pick it back up here. So for me, I'm definitely curious to see what has been the biggest challenge when it comes to this team. You guys have said you played it a few months now, played in tournaments. Has there been any lingering problems and stuff that you guys have been working on, or are you just feeling like you guys are pretty good right now?
Our whole philosophy is all about the aggregation of marginal gain. So we believe that every time that we go out, we're gonna improve in the tiniest facet possible, and we're gonna come back better than ever. Um, I would say that the hardest thing for us currently is just solidifying our fifth man and just making sure that we have five people that are down for the ride 100%. That's probably been our toughest challenge. We've rotated that spot more than any. So that's probably the hardest part of it so far. Is just staying consistent with the roster.
So, who's getting replaced? Because I know recently, within the last 2, 3 months, you had just picked up Bang TK. Once again, I'm a huge advocate for that guy. He's a fantastic player. I wanted him under my own word. But what happened? What's the story behind the missing player?
Yeah, so we actually shifted the roles around a little bit. We have a couple of players that are comfortable on multiple agents and multiple roles. So we basically shifted everything over, and right now we're looking at a couple of Radiant and Immortal 3 Flash Initiators for us. About two or three players in trials right now, just exploring that. But we had a player that we decided to let go of just because we are raising the bar. We're putting the pressure on, and we've been around for a long time. So the idea is that the more we level up, the closer we can get to tier 2, and we can play in bigger and better stuff. Get advance on into nights a little bit more proactively and kind of not
Yeah.
just get walked on.
Well, you guys do have quite an extensive VLR. It's just a shame that because you guys have had so many games that your rank is so low, even though you have some good wins on there. So just getting that consistency, I think, will be
You're
really good for
telling
you
me.
guys.
Oh.
Dude, you guys should definitely be rated higher on VLR. I don't know what the system they use for rating is over there, but it's like on a whim for them, you know?
Yeah, it's VLR is tough, man. We have played so many VLR tournaments that yeah, like you said, we just have so many losses against some really good teams that our ranking is just at the bottom, and it's a system that needs to get restructured for sure. Like there's teams that haven't played on a VLR match in like 250 days or 60 days and they're just
Yeah.
floating, sitting there ranked. I'm like, okay, all right, are they a real thing anymore? I don't get it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Neck?
So then I guess just kind of leading off that is another question that we asked. We actually got to ask Astro, who's one of our lower ranked teams. Obviously, you guys are a lot higher up there. How do you feel as a team that's pretty confident in the season? You guys think you're going to do pretty well? Probably just make the playoffs straight up with the seeding. How do you feel about the play-in tournament? And how do you feel like the league is formatted? I'm curious.
Yeah, I caught like a snippet of Pulsar saying that the divisions were, I think it was the last week's podcast, and Pulsar was saying that divisions
Yeah.
were set up to where teams weren't just going to get blown out in the beginning and this and that. And I was like, I wonder if our front load is going to be heavy, and we were going to be stacked in the first couple of weeks just to see, because we were Jeff and I were scouting things out, trying to make sure, we were all on the same page as far as what are we looking at in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I was a little interested. I was like, okay, we'll see. I just unfortunately I don't know a lot of these teams. Just not a lot of names that are we're familiar with. And I do like the format and I do like the schedule. I think the play-in is super cool. I will happily watch whether or not CG has to fight for that last spot or not. I don't think
I
we
would hope that
will.
CG makes the playoffs, but there's a lot of I did put a lot of the top rated teams against each other, so you know your schedule is going to be a very strong indication of if you are truly in that top echelon of like rank 1, or if you're going to be like one of the, maybe instead of being top 2, top 10, and that's one of the things that I was really excited for when I was putting it together, because normally schedules get made based on if you have a strong rank, if you get a strong seeding, then you have like a coast all the way to the playoffs, and to me that's not interesting. I put Event Horizon against, I think, 6 or 5 of the top 6 teams or top 7 teams, and I know it's very similar for YSL, which just recently became Rise Esports, and Cataclysm and Virtuosity. So I'm just excited to see how everyone does and how the rankings end up shaping out.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Honestly, we want better competition. We want to get better looks at better teams.
Yeah.
So we're all on board for that. As far as I'm concerned, it's good to just have that exposure to teams that actually have plays and schemes and actually have things drawn up in the lab versus
Yeah.
just people who are going out there and just kind of winging it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes those are the teams we lose to, and we're like, oh God, what just happened to us? Like we just
Because they're
fell
playing
apart
it like
against
it's
these guys.
ranked, and you're trying to take it seriously, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, what just happened? I have no idea. I swear some of the players crack, and I'm just like, oh God, guys, it's okay. We know how to handle this, I promise.
Yep. You can try implementing like coaching and protocol for that type of play, but it's just so unpredictable. Sometimes you just gotta go out there and mechanically perform, and that's like tough to like switch your brain from like we're playing as a team to just mechanically outfrag them.
Yeah, 100%. We used to have Node on our team, and Node is a great player, and he ended up with Nearest Airport
Yeah.
before they dissolved and everything like that. But when we were in VLS last year, Node was just one of those guys that just mechanically just dominated the game from start to finish, and
Yeah.
it was great. But we're kind of more of a team-based thing. We do have a
Yeah.
lot of great aimers, 100%. I will never ever be able to aim as good as some of these guys on
I
our
don't
team.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to grace Immortal. I've had Ascendant 3 99 RR more times than I can count, so I think I'm relegated to Ass 1.
Yeah, go for it. Well, it's
So,
not the worst rank.
not to get too off topic, who's the MVP on your team then?
It's really hard to say. A lot of our players contribute in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
As far as from an organizational standpoint, for me, I think that Grim is the MVP of our team. He IGLs for our team. He's just great energy, great vibes. He's
Yep.
calming constantly. He kind of controls and dictates how the game goes. Even mechanically, he's probably one of our best players. But honestly, for this pick, I think I'm gonna go with 9. It's gonna be NIJ9.
Ooh.
He is one of our best players by far, mechanically gifted. He's also the cheerleader of the team. Whenever we need to get hyped up, he is on
Yep.
it. And he just keeps
Those
our
players are
morale
really
just real
important,
good.
and they're not common. You got to have someone who can hype your team up and get their blood going in crucial situations. You know.
Yeah, 100%. He's a demon. Some of the shots that he hits, I'm just like, what just happened on my screen? My monitor's broken. My computer, I'm gonna take it to Goodwill and get a new one later. I just could not believe it.
Alrighty, and
Yeah,
that
well then I guess to
yeah.
just keep things rocking and rolling. So when it comes to your team, I know that you said you're more of an owner. I'm not really sure how often you're checking in on things, but do they like to stick to the more general meta of things, or do they pull out a lot of more interesting cops? Obviously, without leaking anything, but just what's their playstyle? Do they like to just stick with the meta, keep it calm and simple, or are we gonna see some crazy things when the season comes out?
Like I said before, a lot of our players are very flexible as far as what role they're on and what agent they're on, so it does change. Very map dependent, just kind of floats a little bit. We do have some set comps, of course, that we've schemed up and set ideas and everything like that. Um, but I would say we're a pretty flexible team. It's not just the standard double controller that everyone is probably going to be running in this season. Well, but obviously it depends. We'll see what happens. We'll get to scout a lot of the teams as well. So that's going to change our comp picks depending on what we kind of want to do. I come from an Overwatch background as well. So, like, for me, like, it's all about flexibility. Like, we
Yep.
got to be able to do a bunch of different stuff
Dude,
because I
I
don't
feel
want our
that.
looks to change.
I used to be a top 20 Lucio, but there was metas where I couldn't even touch my agent. Like I was the IGL for a lot of my teams, and my Lucio is not to put myself down. My Lucio is like by far levels better. Like I touched Mercy a little bit. I did not know any of the tech, and I was in there playing Mercy for some metas, and I'm like, dude, I need to like get in the server and go learn this. They're like, no, you need to watch VODs and start preparing for the next week. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, it is. It should be very flexible and very different. I think it just keeps you very much so on your toes and allows
Yep,
you to adapt pretty easily. But obviously, comfort picks are comfort picks, and if I want my players to feel like they're in the best spot for themselves,
yep,
and not just do this because coach says so.
yep. Fair enough. So my next question is a little bit of a piggyback. I had two, so I have two questions here. Then they're piggybacks from the first question, the last question I just asked you. Is your league MVP different than your team MVP? Do you think there's going to be a player that does more than the player you named earlier, or do you think it's going to be, your guy from CG?
Hmm. MVP of the league. Well, assuming that we go 8-0, as we've discussed in our own Discord and our own, you know, our own little calls here and there. I'm gonna assume that Grim is probably gonna be the most consistent player, and I imagine that he'll probably win league MVP. Obviously, there's a lot of bias
Yeah,
on that end because I love these guys and we've played with them so much and we've been around for so long that it just makes it so easy for me to pick Grim. But one player I really do like outside of CG, who I think is going to have a great season, is probably going to be Payne from YSL,
yeah,
aka Rise Esports.
yes.
Great player. I've seen him play plenty of times, and um, I wouldn't doubt if he was one of the top players in the league.
Fair enough, fair enough. And have you had a chance to scout any of those bottom teams on your schedule? Because I know you do have games against some of the lower seeded teams. I think you have two or three total. Um, do you think there's going to be an LV least valuable player among them, or is there one on another team you're kind of eyeing?
You know, when you told me that you were going to ask me this question, I actually put a lot of thought and research into this. And after about an hour and a half of trying to even find the teams that are In the league, I decided that I was not going to have an answer for this question because I just did not have enough
It's
information
also
available.
probably good not to stir the pot when you're the top rated seed in the Prometheus division. You
Yeah,
guys have a
that would
lot of
be tough
eyes
for
on you,
sure.
you know?
That would be tough. I'm not worried about it. I think that my guys are going to put their best foot forward, and whether we win or lose, I know that we're going to get better off of it. But I just wish I could have got scouted, like, or could scout anybody. I was trying to. RIB has a lot of good stats, and I got
Yeah.
a lot of good like information as far as trying to figure out what teams are doing and how players are playing, and um, that's why I asked for the roster
That's
list so that
yes.
way I could look up like individual players. But I just wasn't able to scout enough of these guys to
Some
really
of them
make a
don't have
decision.
ribs yet, so I do know that it
Yeah,
does make it tough.
for
We have a
sure.
lot of fresh teams, a lot of teams that are looking for this to be their first rib experience. Then we have a lot of teams with, maybe 10, 20 matches on VLR, and that's a ton of rounds right there, So there is a little bit of variance, but I think there's potential for, someone to come up, and definitely someone might be caught off guard and take a little bit of a slip here. So we'll have to see how this upcoming season goes.
Yeah, I know it's good for teams to even be in a league like this. As a supporter of Tier 3 Valorant, whether I'm organizing tournaments for it or whether we're playing in tournaments for it, I just want teams to have opportunities to play, to get better, to scrim. I'm just glad that things like this are able to function.
Yeah,
And teams are going to be at the top, teams are going to be at the bottom, but we need teams. So let's rock.
fair enough.
All right, man. Well, I guess I can pick things back up for a second here. You guys have really been carrying the heck out of this, and I haven't even got a time to say a word, but I can't ask this. When it comes to you as an owner, this is more of a personal question. What made you want to start and your own Oregon? What made you want to get into Valorant competitive?
You know, when I was younger, I fell in love with Overwatch at the age of what, 15,
Yep,
16, and
same for
I
me. Right
went
in
went
2015 when it came out.
definitely right when it came out. It's just such a fun game, or it was such a
It
fun game
was not
anyway. Yeah,
anymore.
no. But I would go to school, I would come home, I would play, I would go to school, come home and play. I ended up getting on a team. I fell in love with the whole esports environment. That's all I ever wanted to do, and I wasn't good enough. I didn't actually apply myself. I didn't figure it all out. But then I went to college, so I stopped playing, and when I got my degree, hated the work that I was doing for my degree, and so I decided that I needed to run my own business, and I needed to, I don't want to do something because it's going to make me a lot of money. I like to put work into things that I'm passionate about. And if I had a dream and if I wanted to make it anywhere, I would love to be in esports. And so Jeff and I decided that, it's time we're going to make our own org because we had tried with Overwatch and whatnot. It just didn't work, and we weren't adults. We didn't have money. So we decided now that we have money and we're making it and we can do this, we're going to invest into something we care about. It's just a passion
That's
thing
a
for
very
us.
similar
And
story for me after I retired. That's pretty much exactly why I still love the competition. I've fallen in love with both my rosters, and it sort of gives me that same experience I get when I watch like professional football, and I'm a huge Cincinnati Bengals fan, and it's a lot of that same vibe, and I think that's also part of what I'm trying to catch here with the league. I want that same passion. I want the drama. I want the storylines. I want the big come ups and the unseen players to get their chance. Like I want to find that practice squad player that gets their chance to shine against a good roster like CGE or Virtuosity, and they get to show themselves and apply themselves.
100%. And also, Mech, I feel like the esports scene is full of a lot of companies that don't have it figured out. Although we're a small organization and we don't, have all of the assets and the sponsorships that most orgs have, we do care a lot for the players and the contracts are very clear and we don't just drop people for nothing and we
Yeah.
are very clear on how we're going to treat them and how they're going to be handled as far as content creators go, tournament admins go, casters, productions, things like that. We care about everyone that comes in, and I feel like that's kind of the difference for us versus a lot of the, I don't know, tomfoolery, we'll say, that's happening in most
The tier
esports
3 scene is a very
organizations.
messy place. It is probably stifling the chance for talent to grow, I would say. So it's good to see other orgs besides my own also, do right by the players. I mean, I'm sure if I asked your players and my players the same question, we'd hear very similar answers about the integrity, the level of care and attention put into them, and just the respect that they're given as people. Because I think a lot of the times that gets ignored. I've heard stories even just from this past month from, you know, I was looking into orgs that wanted to play, and some of them I didn't hear great things about, and they just weren't treating their players good. So it's good to know that we are supporting an org like yourself, or that genuinely puts a good effort forward to take care of their players.
Yeah, I mean, there's no orgs without players,
Yeah.
so they come first as far as I'm concerned, and we try to take care of them as best we can.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then I got one
Got you,
final
man.
question for you, and then I'll let you free. What's something about you that the league doesn't know that you think they should?
Hmm. Well, I don't think the league will learn a lot about me personally throughout most of the season. But one thing I think that they will learn about CG is that, um, I'd actually let me take a moment. What are they going to learn about CG? Just watch the VODs. You'll figure it out. There's plenty of VODs. We've been on Twitch and Afrika and YouTube before.
Yeah,
No. I think they'll learn that, we're really just not someone to be messed with in this league. I hate to break it to most of the teams that are in this league, but we've been playing in the tier 3 scene for a long time and we've done fairly well. We're going to be confident and we're going to be very confident as well. And we're going to probably rock a lot of these teams and
I
we'll
can't wait to
see
see
y'all
it.
in playoffs.
I can't wait to see it. Well, thank you again, Lamb, for joining us. We appreciate having you on, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Alrighty.
Yeah,
Thanks. I
thanks for
don't get
having
my
me.
last question. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought my bad. I mean, if we want to do
Beck,
one more
I'm here.
question,
I'm
we
here,
can do
Beck.
it.
I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna finish things off with your last interview. If he has anything for us, or he just wanted to say
Oh,
any
fair
last
enough.
words before he goes.
Yes.
Um, no last words. Thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting the league. I'm excited to work with you guys and make this happen, and we'll have some fun along the way.
Of course. Thank you again. And sorry about that, Mac.
No,
Oh
you're
no,
good.
Beck.
I've kind
Don't
of been a
worry.
non-factor tonight. You guys kind of just started going at it about Overwatch and stuff, and I was like, I don't really know a lot about that. That's a little more before my time in esports, so I just kind of let you have your fun.
Fair enough. Alrighty, have a great night, Lamb. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, so while we get set up for our next interview, what was your biggest takeaway from all that?
Um, that team's gonna be a scary flipping team. That's what. I mean, they've already been rated one of the higher seeds in the league, and from talking with him and just hearing about what they've been going through and stuff, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely a little scared. I don't know. I can't remember if my team personally plays them, but if they do, I definitely am gonna look out and be a little worried about that game because they sound like a hell of a team.
Oh yeah, they are a team that I was debating putting at one. It was very close between them and YSL, but recently YSL had been doing a little bit more than Cataclysm because I know for a fact Cataclysm was going through a roster change. So that's what differentiated them from being number one to being number two right there in my opinion, because they're having to start from not scratch, but they have to take a few steps back to get this player up to where they want them to.
Got you.
Alrighty,
All
are
right,
we
so then
ready? We're
I
gonna we're
think
gonna
we
pull in
are
Cairo.
one of the interesting.
Yes, this is the player that has been causing a lot of drama in the league. Everyone give a big round of applause for our guest Cairo over here. How are we doing today?
Good. How about you?
Doing fantastic. So, uh, gonna start off with a unique question for you. What happened yesterday? What stirred the pot and got you and our friend Flock going at it?
I actually don't know. He basically told me about my predictions, saying that it wasn't the best. So I asked him which should the prediction be, and I told him reversing him, and then this guy started going off.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mid AP bio final studies. So
There you go. So how are you doing in school? You think you're gonna get the grades that your parents want, or is this more of a you driving yourself type of deal?
This is more of like me driving myself. I'm trying to become like a doctor and I'm older, so has to be in me.
Fair enough. Alrighty, Mech, do you want to start us off with our Valorant questions?
Yeah, I guess I could do that. So obviously I've asked the first two teams this year, not any different. Is how's your team up starting to prepare for this upcoming season, and what have you guys been doing to really get yourselves prepared for the league?
So basically, we're still like fixing our roster, not trying to give too much leaks, but I think we have like a solid core right now, honestly.
Fair enough.
Awesome,
Is
well,
there
cool.
anything you guys have been doing in particular while you're working on the final roster? Have you guys been focusing specifically on mechanics since you can't really do VOD reviews, or is it just sort of everyone's doing their own work and you guys trust in each other that you guys are doing what you need to so that when the time comes you can just hit the ground running?
So I think as of right now, we're just trying to get like on the same page, get everyone comfortable with each other, do our own work like on separate times. But we're right now just trying to get a feel of each other.
Alrighty, fair enough,
Awesome.
fair
Well,
enough.
I mean, that's always a good thing to do. Team chemistry is definitely super important when it comes to Valorant.
Yes,
So
I
who's
agree.
your team or who's your team's biggest adversary? Or you can even answer this as a more personal question. Who's your biggest adversary in the league? Is there a specific team or a name that you have circled and you're like, when I play them, they're getting dumpstered?
Honestly, if Astro do make it to finals, they're going out to O2.
Dang, he just went all in. Okay, okay, I like that.
It's not gonna be O2. The map total is gonna be like 26-4.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Dang.
hopefully Astro players are in the in this podcast right now. We
That's some
can
bulletin board material for them. Just to
I'm
motivate
clipping
them.
that. That's gonna be a clip right there.
Can you
Fair
send that to
enough.
me after? I'm gonna post it like everywhere after we just destroy them.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's gonna pull the
Appreciate it.
receipts. He's gonna
Wow.
hold the receipts. Fair enough. Wild take, but I love it. I'm here for it. So my next question is who's your team's MVP of the current core you have?
Honestly, I feel X because he's been putting like a lot of work, and I feel like he's been like trying to get the core set.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And
Nice. Okay, cool.
yeah.
So then I guess we can just hop in over to this next question is what is the biggest challenge since you guys are still a pretty new roster? If you noticed any things that you guys really want to work on, anything specific, or is it just general problems when it comes with being a new roster? What is the biggest challenge that you guys have, and how do you plan to fix it?
Honestly, I think right now the biggest challenge is like making sure we all communicate properly. Our communication is key, and that we're just on the same page when we're like playing in scrims and like in matches. And I feel like over time that's gonna get better and better each time we play.
Awesome.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Who's your league MVP pick? Is it going to differentiate from what you said for your last question, or is it something different here?
So for my league MVP, I'm not trying to be biased, but I want to say me, but it might not be me. So honestly, I'm thinking like one of the members on Thugs. To be honest,
Really?
yeah.
You think highly of Thugs? You think they're
I on I honestly
you,
think they have like a
yeah?
solid core, and like I was talking with them like just like 5 minutes ago, and they just sound like they're gonna be everyone. So
That's respect. I can appreciate you having a strong take and sticking to it. So next question for you is who's the league's LVP, least valuable player?
okay, I know like no one's gonna expect it, but like or maybe everyone will. But Graves, he's gonna have the least amount of KD. He's gonna be the biggest flop. He's probably gonna be like crew.
Wow, Graves.
I'm
That's
gonna get in
that's
his
a
head.
crazy
Stop hit that
take.
yelling. Yeah.
That's take. I don't know if I agree with that, but we'll see. If he doesn't perform well, there could be a scenario where that happens. I'd hate for that to happen because he's one of my favorite players, but that's
I know,
crazy.
but if he's your former player, then it's not gonna be a good day if he versus us.
Fair enough.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We do know that Graves is one of the lower ranked players in the league, and while that never really matters when it comes to Valorant rank, isn't that big of a deal. I mean, I can see why you'd say that, but I definitely think that there's a lot of plus sides when it comes to Graves, and there's definitely a lot of good things that he does for the team. There's a reason he is on the team in this great league that we have here. So definitely a bold take by you, but I respect it for calling someone out, man. Like. It's always good to have some adversity. Always good to really just grind some gears. That's what makes the league fun.
For sure, for sure. And then Mech, do you want to ask a few questions? Because I did cut you off a few times. I skipped your turn.
No, you're good, man. I guess for me is I'm just kind of curious for you. What do you think of the playing tournament? What do you think of the way the league set up and stuff? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Just what are your thoughts?
So honestly, the playing tournament is basically like VCT where anything can happen. I really think that the play-in could go either way because I don't. If like a team does put enough work and like go 0-8, Astro, and like make it through the play-in to make the playoffs, maybe like they can do it. But honestly, I think the play-in should be more like the little lower seeds.
Okay, interesting. That's a pretty supercalifragilisticexpialidocious of an answer there. So, I guess since you cut me off once, I'll cut you off once, Pulsar. I'm just curious, what do you think of the general meta in the game right now? Cairo, like, just, with the double controller comps and stuff, is that what your team is sticking to? Or are you guys kind of going away from the meta? What are you feeling?
So honestly, I like really like the meta. I'm playing controller for my team especially, so I can't hate on it. I'm about to be
You're playing
icy like Marv, so
controller?
I
Sorry,
am
my
playing
bad.
controller. No, you're fine,
Interesting,
don't worry.
okay.
I've been practicing controller. I've been hella messing with it, so just gonna be ice cold.
Got you. Okay, awesome.
Honestly, that's not something I was expecting. That's kind of crazy to me. Do you want to tell us how you got put on the controller role? Because from my understanding, that was not your main role.
Yeah, I thought you were a duelist, brother.
Yeah. So basically, like I can play a lot of roles, especially on my like stats. It shows I'm very consistent in my roles. I play different roles for many different teams, and this team we're basically looking for an initiator or a controller. So I said that let me play the controller. I can play really well and like I can own on it, and it helps me use my overall aim to my advantage with my smokes.
Fair enough.
Got you, okay.
And
Well,
then, you go first, my friend.
no, it's all you, it's all you.
What do you look forward to the most this season?
This season I look forward to maybe making playoffs and trying to make it to finals. If there's lots of good teams there, most likely Thugs and EH are gonna make it. So
I don't know. There's some like I would say that these top maybe 7, 8 teams are very interchangeable, and it's really gonna be based on when it comes down to map bans. I don't think anyone's a lock because if you get 2, 3 bad games in a row, you might get bumped down to the play-in tournament, and if you're in the play-in tournament, that's a best of one. You don't get a good map or a map that you have been studying enough, you could just get knocked out right there. It's a very scary season for I think every team involved. I know Cataclysm sounded confident, and that's good for them, but it's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
no, I completely agree. There's a lot of different things that can happen, especially with there's many different teams. I don't know how good they are, how bad they are. So, and especially the plan being BO1, anything can go wrong. Maybe like a bad map or just something.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. I guess just kind of moving into that, I am curious about Cairo, and I've been asking you some more personal questions. I got another personal question for you. When it comes to you as a player, why did you get into Valorant competitive? What drives you to play this game at this kind of level?
So basically, when I started playing CS:GO, I just like always wanted to win. I liked winning, and then I saw Valorant becoming like popular. I think the first time I got into Valorant was because of BA, and I really loved watching him play, so I started playing it, and then I just made the switch basically.
A very
Awesome,
similar
man,
story
awesome.
for me. I know I was really dissatisfied with Overwatch, and I was like, hold on, I got that Valorant key on accident. I tuned into a stream for like maybe 30 minutes, and I got it like right away. I'm like, let me plug this in and try this, and it was love at first sight. I think there's something very satisfying with the way that Riot had set the visual and audio feedback that sort of gives people a dopamine rush. It's one of the reasons why Duelist is one of those like most enticing roles to play, Duelist and Initiator. You get that video audio feedback for your brain serotonin.
No, I completely agree, and I really like the aspects of the abilities where not everyone has the same abilities, and everyone learns different things for different roles.
Yep.
Because in CS, you have to roll like you have to learn flashes, smokes, and everything. It's all the same thing.
Yep. And then what's something about you that you think the league should know that they don't currently know?
Don't underestimate me. It's that simple.
I've seen in your bio that you had 3-time premier champion. Don't underestimate me. You want to go into a little bit of depth about that?
Yeah, basically, like a lot of people put shit on my name, but it's okay. I'll still own the kids. It comes to play.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I respect it. Like some people are not a fan of the confidence, or some would say overconfidence. But for me, it's always those types of players that give me the most entertaining games, especially when they can back it up. So I hope you can back it up because that would be fantastic. I hope you know that you have made yourself a villain in the league to a lot of people. So you got to back it up, or you're gonna face a lot of backlash and a lot of comments.
Don't worry, I'm not stressed about it. I'll easily back it up.
All
These guys can
right.
keep complaining.
Oh man.
Well then, hey, I gotta ask an off-topic question here, man. If you do have a poor performance and people come after you for that, how are you gonna respond?
All good. Next game, I'll just show them double. Just beat them next game.
Okay,
Fair
interesting.
enough. I think that's the correct way to look at it. I think if you can't, you know, go from a loss and then be like, hey, it happened, let's move on and go on to the next week, I don't think you're gonna last very long at the scene, you know.
No, I feel it.
Yeah, I
Any
know, 100%. Well,
any
I
more
mean, I
questions
guess
for
for
you?
me, I'm just curious, Kyrie. Do you have anything for us? Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I just can't wait for week 1.
Fantastic. You know, if Vacant Ops can fill their roster by the 29th or maybe another day, I may have a partner for you guys to do a show match. So keep me posted in the DMs. Alrighty, my friend.
I got you.
Alrighty, thank you again for coming on. Thank you for the hot takes; they were fantastic. And you have a great night. Alrighty.
Of course. Thank you for having me. You guys have a great night too.
Yep. What was your biggest takeaway from that? It definitely wasn't as wild as I would have expected for me.
That wasn't wild for you?
No, I think that was pretty tame for what I expected.
My guy was. All I gotta say is, I'm gonna be honest, man. With how he was talking, I love the confidence. I love players who can bring that kind of confidence, really come in and show what they're talking about. As you saw, his profile picture was actually Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Anyone who knows that is, he really reminded me of Gojo and that kind of confidence that you have, that you think you're the best. And my only concern is I don't know if he's going to be able to back it up. I mean, I know he's a great player. I have played with Kyra more times than I can count, and he obviously has a lot of upsides, but he also has a lot of downsides. So it'd be interesting to see where if maybe he has 1 or 2 bad games here and there, if he actually can back up that talk, and if he can kind of just bounce back. I'm just curious to see what he can do. But I do know
Yeah.
that I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting to see how it goes.
Alrighty, and we're gonna get on to the YouTube comment questions. So after this video goes up on YouTube, make sure you guys go check out the VOD. If you have questions, this is the best chance for us to answer them and see them. I promise that I will read every single question with my eyeballs. I don't guarantee that I'll read them all on stream, but I will look at every single one. And you know, after we do that, if anyone else has a question for us in the Twitch chat, we'll answer 1 or 2, and then we'll move on for the night and let you guys go on your merry way. Alrighty. So the first question's from Graves, my homeboy. His question is, why all the Astro hate? We have 1 game on record and it was played 3 days into being a team. I think. Do you want to answer this first, and then I'll give you my official opinion?
Yeah, I got you. So for me, I don't think it's a lot of that. I mean, I definitely think that we did definitely. I'm not gonna say hate, but I had a lot of criticisms when it came to Astro last week.
I would say we were very positive, given the criticism we levied. Personally speaking.
Yeah, so I just think that it's more a lot of these teams that we have in the league right now. They've proven themselves in VLR on RIB. We've seen things. Astro is just a brand new team that we haven't seen anything. We know Vav, we know Graves, but besides that, there's 3 players there that we've never heard of before. We've never seen them compete. We've never seen them play, and there's a lot to be expected when you're in a league like this, that's tied into Tier 3 league with so many good teams. You really just don't know what to expect when you have such an oddball team that, especially when it comes to their ranks, aren't the best, and there's nothing that you can see. I mean, you just don't know what to expect. There's just a lot to be learned. There's a lot to be gained, and when you need a team that has to be on the lower side of things, because there is always going to be a lower team, you tend to go with the team that you don't know a lot about, and that's just kind of how it ended up going.
I think for me, it's like I said, I love the players on this team. I have a personal connection to them, but I think the competition is going to be a lot more than they're expecting. I think realistically, they're not showing their opponents the respect they deserve. And you know, when it comes to week 1 and 2, maybe they'll prove me wrong, and I'll be more than happy to take that L. But I really think that they are not giving enough respect to those teams that have put in the work. Because a lot of these teams are playing have extensive time together and big VLRs and ribs.
Yeah, no, 100%. I got you.
Alrighty. The next question is going to be from MK3 from Poseidon. That's MK3's owner. Or Poseidon's owner, MK3. He was asking, what does the production UI look like? So we're actually taking a very sneak peek at it. This one is going to be one of our screens. This is our casting screen for intermissions. We have a bunch of other screens. We have, replays while we're in intermission. We have an ad screen. We have the interview screen. We have an open and close. We have transitions. I'm still waiting on I'm still waiting on Nick to finish up the overlays, but he did prepare these two screens, these screen we're using currently, and the interview screen for us on very short notice while he's busy at a tournament for Frost. So we are very grateful to him. We also have quite a few games for him lined up. He's going to be streaming almost every night, so we're trying to spread him out to make sure as many teams as possible get to be streamed under him. But it'll be a blast, and I can't wait to show you everything that we have and all the transitions and the replay system and all that good stuff. Alrighty. And then the final question is, and I'll let you answer this one for us, Mac. Where do you think Vacant Ops will place at the end of the season? They are Cairo's team. That is the team that is going through some roster changes, but they do have a few rib tournaments under their belt already.
That is a great question, and honestly, I'm gonna go on the safe side, and I'm gonna go 4-4. Because
I think that's a very
and I think a
safe and
lot of
smart
the
prediction.
my fault. And I think a lot of those wins are going to come in the second half of the season. I think that while they're still getting their roster together, they're still kind of figuring themselves out. Once they kind of get everything going, they get to start doing strats. I think they might start like 1-3, 1-2, and then after that, once they find their footing, they can be a really good team.
I think that they're definitely going to have a slow start. I would definitely agree with that. But I think once they get rolling and they get 1 or 2 wins under their belt, they're going to be in a fantastic spot. Alrighty, so that's it for YouTube questions. There wasn't many comments on this video, so make sure you guys fill up our next one with questions or concerns. It can be about the league, it can be about teams, it can be about me or Mech, it could be about what the weather's like outside. It won't be anything political, but we'll be happy to talk to you guys. So League X Org sponsored off-season tournament. I was considering it. I had to close that ticket today just due to the fact that Zale, who makes our bot for us, needed me to. But I did notice that, and I did look at that. I took note of it. I'm gonna talk to a few teams in the off-season. I already have a few ideas for teams, as a few teams have already ran tournaments in the past. But yeah. Any other questions we have here, or do we want to head it off?
It does not look like it. It's just
I'll
a
give
lot of.
everyone a chance to answer.
I got you.
Yeah. So is there anything that you're really looking forward to this season, Beck? I know we've asked our interviewees this question, but I haven't had a chance to ask you.
Man, if I'm being honest, I really, really just want to see these games get played. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and I want to see us be wrong on some things. We've talked a lot of, not shit, but we've given a lot of criticisms to a lot of teams, and we praised a lot of teams. We've definitely been very biased just because we don't know anything yet. And I would love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong on Astra. I'd love to be wrong on Beside. I know I called them a dark horse, but I still said they were gonna go like 3-5 or 4-4. I'd love to be wrong on that. I'd love to see one of these teams like the new Rise roster maybe fall and be like 5-3, 4-4. Just something that we didn't expect. Give us something to talk about. You never know.
Yeah.
Just see. I mean, it's the Titans. I want to see some of the smaller Titans rise up and take down the Goliaths of the league. And
you wanted David to take on Goliath, is what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying, man. And I do see I have a quick question of how's my day. My day's been a day, man. It's been a day. It's been one of the days of all time.
I will say on the possibility of an Astra versus Vacant Ops show match, we can discuss it, though I don't want too many show matches. I want to save a lot of this for the league. The point of the show matches is not actually the teams playing. It's mostly just a scrim for them, and I don't expect them to show anything serious. It's more just a chance for our casters and production and them to get ready for the season. And something as big as Astro versus Vacant, I'll be frank, I'm not going to allow during the preseason. I would like to see that later down the line. Like, even if it comes to play-in, I will be specifically seeding it so that there is a chance that those two play.
Got you, man. Well, we do
How am
have
I
another.
doing today? I'm doing fantastic. You know, I went to my parents' house to hang out with my stepbrothers because I'm not going to see them on Christmas. So we did some presents with them. I haven't opened any presents myself, but you know,
Oh, what? I'm gonna send you a
I'm
present right
waiting.
now, man. I got you.
Oh, you're so sweet. One thing is that we would be grateful for, guys. If you have Discord server boosts, we are super close to hitting that maximum boost level, and I would be very grateful if anyone was interested in graciously sharing some boosts. Um, our all league match is going to be streamed. I would like that. That's the ideal. That's the ideal scenario. I'm aiming for a 95% or more of the matches being streamed minimum, though I believe we will get pretty much all of them streamed and casted.
So really quick, poster. I don't want this question to get buried. Is MK Live asked, why is the name? Why is the league called Titans of Tier 3, and what was the inspiration? I just want to make sure we got that.
Oh, I didn't see that one. That's a good one. So, we were brainstorming. It was me, a friend of mine, and Senta, and a few of the casters. We were in the production chat. Originally, we were going to be the Valorant League, and I was like, that one, we're going to get copyright striked. Two, it's lame. Three, we have better ideas. And we just started slamming ideas against the wall. And one that everyone almost immediately uh, took to was the Titans. It was Titans, and then we had to kind of go from there. My idea was of tier 3. We were thinking like Clash of the Titans. We were thinking of what was it? The Titans battle or something like that. And once I said Titans of tier 3, we were like, that's a phenomenal name, but we got to look into it and make sure we won't get DMCA'd. But fair enough, fair enough. Thoughts on First Class? They joined the league towards the end. I think that they have potential to do really well, but for me, they're very much a wait and see. I know they have performed well in the past, but I need to learn more about them myself before I give anything concrete. I'd love to have another Clappy interview. That sounds like a good time. Any questions you're looking at?
Um, I noticed all the matches were in a 3-hour window. How does one know when our match starts, and if we are in a 5 or 8 window example?
So your 5 to 8 window, 5 is when you should be starting. 8 is around the time you're ending. We have up to 3 channels. The only games that are going to matter in terms of actual time will be posted beforehand. So if there's the way it's going to work is if something's on the mainstream and it's being streamed immediately after the other one, then we will make sure that the teams are communicated to. The great thing is that we're going to be running early a lot of the days, and we're going to be running, and that'll make up and balance out with the days or the games that we're not running early on and we're a little behind. I will say though, we do have 3 channels total, this being the main one, and 2 other side channels that will be available for us to stream on. So we are already prepared for that. Like some games will actually be going on at the same time, especially those early morning games. So that's kind of where we're at.
Got you. Well,
Um,
I think that is looking. Tell us more about VO. Dude, MK is giving me some love tonight. So, actually, I guess I do have a little interesting story about VO. VO is actually established all the way back in 2019. I made Vibin out back in 2019. I made it as a Fortnite team. And then after Fortnite kind of died down a little bit and Valorant got popular, I put it on hold all the way until now in October of 2023 is when I did start. It was in October. It was September of 2023. We started it back up. Right now we have an academy team, a main team. We actually do a Fortnite roster still, which is very funny to say. Along with some content creators and stuff. So actually, technically, when you look at it, Vibin Out's been a thing for 4 years, but you've only really come around these past few months. But there's a lot of big things coming. I can say that with some certainty. We're definitely gonna make a splash in this league, and I am super super excited for it.
Alrighty, well, I think that'll do it for us. Mech, anything you got to say before we end up heading out?
Yeah, I have one. I actually do have something I want to say, and it's my random question of the day for you that I didn't get to ask you this earlier because we
Okay.
just had to go straight into interviews. Remember last week, I caught you off guard.
Yes.
So completely off topic. Cheeseburgers or burgers without cheese, and why is one better than the other?
Cheeseburgers, because there's so many variations of cheese, it gives you way more variety, and it gives you a chance to sort of, you know, change it up. Like if you had to eat cheeseburgers every day, you could have a completely different flavor, more than just like a regular hamburger. I know you could still do the same thing, but cheese is a component that gives you an opportunity to have more variety.
Got you, man. Okay, well, that's my random question of the day. I've had cheeseburgers on my mind, so I'm just curious. Cheeseburgers are way better, by the way. I just want to say that now. Anyone who has burgers without cheese, you are insane, and I will say that with my full chest.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Batman with prep time still is the DC friend. Oh man, but yeah. So that's all I got, man. You got anything for me?
No, I think we are gonna let everyone go and have a great
Wait.
evening.
Hold on, sorry,
Oh,
sorry. Wait.
yes, I said.
How does regulation like staying in the league look like?
So we haven't decided on relegation yet, unless the team really stinks it up. So I assume that not every team is going to stay, though I would like for at least 25 of the teams to stay. Teams that are signed up in season one will have the opportunity to basically pre-seat, kind of like our early bird special, but it'll be a private early bird special, and it'll probably be the same price. If we do go up in price, it's only because it's so expensive to run and cast and stream a league. Um, but if a team does perform really poorly, and their streams aren't doing well, they might get relegated, and then we'd either have them participate in some tournaments to see if they can earn their spot back, or we might just move on from them until next season and give them another look then. It's not something I have fully worked out yet, but that's kind of the general idea that I've had going for the last little bit.
He's actually completely lying to you guys. We're gonna do an LCQ exactly like VCT, but just he
Okay,
doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it yet. I haven't talked to him about it. Just trust me. That's what we're doing.
Heard. Thank you. I appreciate you deciding this for me.
Yeah, no problem, man. I just because I have so much say in the league. I'm definitely not just a mod. Like I actually
true.
just
True and real.
No, I'm kidding. But on a serious note, that's kind of what they've been looking at. It's what we've been looking at, and no, I definitely think though. I think you're wrong. I think a lot of teams are gonna want to stay. I don't think we'll lose too many teams, especially if it goes as well as we're hoping it does.
Fair enough. Alrighty. You guys all have a great night. Thank you again, and I do hope to see y'all again for the next episode. We are looking at probably the day after the preseason show matches, so that'll be the 30th. We'll have a more solid date once we get closer to that time, but that's when you guys can expect the next episode, just because we have Christmas and Christmas Eve and all that coming up. So that's the most likely date. You'll hear some more from us soon. And thank you all again for tuning in. It was a pleasure to have you. Alrighty. Have a great night. Love y'all.
Good night, guys. Oh yeah.